We're good people just going through what we're going through. It's a disease, you know. Some have handled it different ways than others. Some people are more willing to try to change than others. But, you know, you have it in you. Everybody has it in them. Mm-hmm. You just got to be, you know, willing and put the work in. And it's so hard to try to explain to somebody when they're at that spot, when they just feel like there's no way. Like, there's no way. Like, how? How can I get to the other side of this? Other people, yeah. Other people can do it, but not me. But you can't think that way. Because, I mean, I felt that way. I know I felt that way. I was like, I'm going to die an alcoholic. That's what's written in the cards for me. That's what's kind of how it's going to roll out, probably. It does not have to. I just got to a point where I was like, I cannot live like this anymore. And if I have a prayer on turning this around, I got to do something about it. You know? And life is awesome. You know, I have those moments too. And, you know, where and it's just out of the middle of nowhere. Sometimes I'm like, I love my life. Like, everything is so great, you know, and I don't have $1 million. And, you know, there's a lot of things that I would like maybe to have, but I have everything that I need and want, you know, and I'm grateful. I'm blessed, and I love you. Aww. And I love my family, and I love, you know, I have a love for a lot of people in my life right now. And that's, you know, I feel loved back, which is the thing I didn't feel that way I didn't feel that from a lot of people for a long time. In fact, it was exactly the opposite. And so, you know, it doesn't, you know, it can happen for you. You just have to believe.
For some people, I'm sure it was hard for you at the time to like leave that situation, you know, and it's uncomfortable to ask for help. I chose to live in my car for a hot minute, you know, as opposed to like going back to my mom's for help when she was standing there going, I will help you, you know, just come home. And nope, sleep in my car. Mm-hmm. I'll show you. You know, I don't know, but I didn't have to go through that, but I didn't know how to get out of it. I didn't want to ask for help. And, you know, if somebody is stuck in a situation or a relationship where they're not happy and they don't feel loved, and that all that's doing is throwing gas on the fire of your addiction, you know, of your using. Notice that, you know, and I don't even know if that person's listening right now, but maybe a friend or a family member could be. And I don't know how you'd mention that to them, but life doesn't have to be so bad. Mm-hmm. It can be uncomfortable for a minute. You know, you're going to have to learn how to live a different life. And Marnie, like you said, it's worth it. And you're so happy now. And it doesn't have to keep going that way. It doesn't. You know, it takes what it takes for each of us. And you've been through hell, and you're here now. You know, and that's a good indicator for especially women out there that are struggling, that, you know, there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and it's not heaven. It's not from you dying. It's from a new life that you can start. And it's not going to happen tomorrow. You know, if you just trust us and get on this journey of recovery, it's so amazing. And, you know, I wish it for everybody. Mm-hmm. You know, I do. And unfortunately, that's not the reality that we live in. You know, people are dying right now as this podcast is being recorded and as it's being played. Mm-hmm. That sucks. And, you know, I think until we can openly talk about it without shaming people and saying it's okay to get help. And if your coworker's going to get help, hey, hell yeah, man. Don't feed into the water cooler talk when people are like, oh, did you hear about George? Right. Yep, back to rehab again. No, tell them to shut the F up, you know, and go key their car. Don't key their car. I was just kidding. Slash their tire. No, don't slash their tire. No, that's bad. But, you know, stick up for them a little bit, you know?
Yeah. Just know that you're worth it. You're worth it, you know?
Mm-hmm. But it was a great feeling, though. You know, love of my life on my right arm. And then on my left arm, the other love of my life, my kitty cat. You know, it's like I got my woman here. It's going to be my wife. And then I got this creature here who I don't know what goes on in her brain, but she understands me. And, you know, the fact that she's trying to cuddle, you're trying to cuddle. And I'm like, wow, 2 years ago, you'd have told me I'd be right here, right now with you. And that situation happened last night. And I would just say that you're nuts. And sometimes I still want to pinch myself, you know, but looking back at it, it's a day at a time.
Yeah.
I don't really get everything accomplished that I want to in a day, but you know, even this podcast and the company, you know, where this has come, you know, in the last year, it's just been crazy.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
But all right, well, this is a little
got me crying.
a little teary episode.
Oh, it's good. Tears are good.
Yeah.
And they're not like bad tears, they're happy tears.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But actually, you know, it's good for you.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
To actually feel again. Ta-da.
You know.
You know?
Like that time, I know I talked about on the podcast. Sorry, Kevin. Kevin listens, St. Louis, and has to hear me repeat all these things again. But no, when I was at the Mexican restaurant with my mom, I think it was my birthday. I don't remember. Back in June. Anyway, I was going to ask her to be, you know, part of 217 Recovery, like a board member. And I just started bawling. Like, it was like, I had no idea these emotions were there, that they were going to just come festering up. Like, I don't know. It was just like such a powerful, emotional moment. Like, all I could do was cry. And my stepdad, before I even asked my mom, like, everything's cool. We're having, you know, lunch. And he goes to the restroom and he comes back and I'm just in there bawling, you know, and he's like, what the hell's going on?
What
you know,
I
like,
miss.
what happens? Corey, okay? it was just one of those emotions, you know, and it is okay to cry, you know. It's good, you know. They're good, happy, joy tears, and I wish them upon everybody.
Yeah,
for sure. But well, that's probably about enough for tonight. I got the sinus thing going on, and you're over there crying.
I'm fine. I'm good.
I was tearing up too, but. Thanks for listening, and oh yeah, the app is in. Did we talk about that the other day?
Yeah, but you said that there was an adjustment that needed to be made because the notifications or something needed to be.
Yeah, because I was supposed to get the email like saying, "Hey, your app is."
No, but like when we post, like after you publish this,
I'll send a notification out.
Is it supposed to go ding on my thing?
It's gonna be awesome. I can't wait.
Because it didn't the last time.
Well, no, because it was only through Android, and I don't even think I did it right.
Okay.
And there's a lot of people that have the Android app, which is pretty cool. And now you can get the iOS app if you got Apple, iPad, whatever.
Yeah, no, I have that, but I never got my.
I know, because it didn't publish on there, but I had to get it figured out today.
Okay.
And I got with the company and was like, "Hey, what's up?" And they're like, "Oh," and then I finally got the email. "Hey, your
tech people, I tell you,
your app is now officially in the iTunes store." Blah 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 blah.
You think like, those people would be the people that are totally on top of it?
Yeah, no. And I'm like, "What about this?" Because you needed like a Mac to do a CSR file. And I'm like, I don't know, I don't have a Mac, so this is gonna be hard. So they did it for me, and I was like, all right, thank you. So yeah, I'm going to send the first notification when we get done with this.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I kind of want to do it now, but it's not ready yet.
I can't.
All right. Well, subscribe. I think that's what you do. Or maybe you just download the app, and I think it'll tell you allow push notifications or whatever.
Yeah, that's what it does.
Just go to
that's what it did for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So do that. And
it's pretty.
Mm-hmm. It's cool. And then I was like messing around because there's a feed section from Spreaker. Because if you go to the player, like I said, I don't know, however you listen to the podcast, you can keep doing that, but there's a feed section, but it looks weird. So I'm really going to confuse people because there's the podcast player at the top, which will pull up, and you can go through and play. But my experience is when the phone like kind of goes quiet or not dies, but goes black.
Mm-hmm. Like sleeps?
Yeah, okay. You want to use technical terms. So yeah, when it sleeps, then it stops playing.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one is the podcast. If you click on that one, which is saying it from the top, that will take you to our website player, which I think that works just fine. But then at the very bottom, I think it says podcast feeds. And I put 217 Recovery on there, and I put Broken Beautiful on there. If there's ever going to be a Broken Beautiful podcast again. Just kidding, Anna. Sort of.
Man.
But they look weird.
Okay.
Like if you click on them, you'll see what I'm talking about. But
all right. Well, to be fixed.
yeah, and I'll really stop trying to confuse people with 80 different Facebook pages and there's technically like 2 different apps. Because there's the website Wix app. I don't know. It's so confusing. It's hard. It's very hard.
Sexual relationship.
All right, stop with the buttons, Marnie. That's the last time we give you the buttons. You're there crying, hitting buttons and stuff. Maybe. But, all right, again, thank you. Get the app. Really appreciate it. And tell your friends. And tell God what you want.
Absolutely.
You know? How you going to get it if you don't ask? So you got to ask them. My friend Tyrone would say. All right. Well, we'll be back Thursday with the episode of all episodes.